This video is entitled WinTRF Export Import System. The WinTRF Export Import System is an external utility that will give the user the ability to manage all of his estimates in his current working directory and in any of his archive directories. We will start with describing how to export an estimate, and then we will follow up with the import process. When you export an estimate, you will create a miniature estimating database containing not only the estimate takeoff, but also all the parts and assemblies associated with the estimate. Theoretically, we can take an estimate created on a computer, and when we import it into another computer, we will also import any assemblies and parts that may not exist on the destination computer. To export an estimate, we click on the Start button. We go to Programs, we go to Certain Software Systems, and then we go to WinTRF Export Import Utility. When the utility launches, you will see that there are only two active buttons, the Select Source Data Directory and the Import button. So if we were going to go do an import, we would click on the Import button and proceed. But since we are doing an export, we must first select the Source Data Directory. When we click on the Select Source Directory, it launches the Browse for Folder form that tells me my source data directory is currently set to my current working directory. And if I was going to export a job that's in my current working directory and then import it again into the same folder, I wouldn't have to make any change. But I'm going to go to an archive folder, and I archived my jobs from 2011 in a folder called eData 11. So I highlight that. My source directory now changes down at the bottom to CAPS Cert-In eData 11. I click on the OK button. The program launches the data manager and opens up to the login screen. Anybody who is exporting and importing from the system must have rights to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my login ID and my password, and my program shows me all the jobs that were in my archive folder. I go down and find the folder, the estimate that I want to export, and click it, and the program pops up this little box, and this confuses a lot of folks. But basically it means that all our estimates are stored in a folder called EP that has the initials EPL. And if the export program cannot find the EPL folder that corresponds to this job, then you're going to have to do this manually. And since you've changed the name to eData 11, he can't find an EST data EPL6 in eData 11. I mean, there's just no EST data folder for him to find the EPL6 folder. So I click on the OK button, and it launches the Browse for Folder form, and it's sitting at my current working directory. Well, I have to tell it that I want you to export from the eData 11. That's where I want you to export from, and I want you to use EPL6 within that folder. So this is where he is now going to export that. He's going to find the information that he needs to export now. And it needs to say it just like it says it right here, eData 11 EPL6. I click OK, and the program displays my bid number, shows my bid number and my bid name, and all I have to do at this point is click on Create the Export Packet. The program goes out and creates the form. And it's at this point where some people get confused, because this may take a long time. If you are exporting from a pre-version 9 estimating database, it will take a long time, because the data files in pre-version 9 were not set up the same way they are in version 9. So the program has to do some translations of that data. It also has to search for through a lot of information, and on a busy network it may take a long time. If it doesn't give you an error, eventually, it may take 15, 20, 30 minutes, it will give you a scrolling marquee across the bottom telling you that it exported correct, export packet was created successfully, and it was stored in C apps blah blah blah, whatever that folder name is. And if you can, write that information down, because when you go to look for your export packet, this is where you're going to find it. And it will end, the last part of it will have the user ID of the person who logged in, inside the EST bin folder plus the exported EST directory. EXPDEST is where it always stores it. Once I know that I have that, I can close out of here, and I'm going to go ahead and close this form out because I want to start over again. And now I'm going to go import that job into my estimating system. Again, I click on Start, I go to Programs, I go to Certain Software Systems, and I go to WinTRF Export Import Utility. You may ask yourself, do I have to do that? Do I have to always get out and come back in since I have the form up? The answer is no. I just do it because I want to make sure that I have a clean, everything is clean. All my temporary files are done. If I'm on a network, sometimes on a network, the data management system keeps the files open. I want to make sure everything gets closed. So I want to make sure that I'm doing exactly right. Do I have to do it? No. The answer is no. You can do the import right after the export. I'm going to click on the import button now. I log in again. This time I'm logging into my working directory. That's my destination directory, is my current working directory. Again, I log in, I type in my login name, I hit the enter key, and now I go in and type my password. I hit the enter key one more time, and now my extract export file button is active. I can now click this button to go find my file, and I want to show you the tree and the location where it puts it so that if something happens and you get lost, it's underneath Cert-In, EST bin, the login person, the person who logged in. I've been logging in with my name, Eric, and underneath there's my exported EST files. That's where it's going to put it. And again, this information in here is a little cryptic and very sometimes difficult to see. I know which job it is because I knew it was an EPL 6, and this particular exported job ends with a 6. If I sort this in, if I open up the details and click on date modified, I will sort it in date order, date and time order, and that's the last job that was exported. Now I know that that's the job I want to open up. I click on open. It opens up, it gives me my bid number, it gives me my estimate number, and now all it's asking me for is a destination. I click on the destination, I type in a number 2 because that's the second job I wanted. If I was to type in a number 1, the only buttons that would be enabled would be merge and replace. And if I had created this job with the intention of being able to merge it, and there is a procedure for doing that, you can't just take information from multiple jobs and merge them all into an estimate because things will get confused. You have to create the job with that intention, and there's a procedure for doing that. You will make a mess of an estimate because you'll have duplicate breakout names, and things will just not be organized the way you want it if you just merge jobs indiscriminately. So if you want to merge, let us know. We'll help you set up a job so that you know how to do it. The replace button would replace the information in this job with the information from the job that you're importing. And the replacement process takes 2 steps. First step it does is it deletes that original job and then replaces that information. 99.9% of our customers just create a copy. If I create a copy, I keep my original job. If it happens to be the same as I have the one I'm doing, I keeps my original job, and I can go ahead and create my new job, and then I'll have 2 jobs to compare. That's always easier. It's always easier to have 2 jobs to compare. So I'm going to click on the create button, and eventually I will get the import operation completed successfully. Again, on a busy network, this may take a little bit of time. Also, when you extract the export file, you need to wait till this bar completely goes across, showing you that it created that file and that the bid number and the bid name are there. We have seen in busy environments where that takes a little bit of time because what it's doing is it's opening up the exported form and taking all the exported files out and uncompressing them and putting them into a working directory, and it will take a little bit of time. This completes the WinTRF export import video.